welcome to our first episode of Sports Marvel, where we discuss about sports events and all. So right now we are discussing about English Premier League, and मेरे साथ रजत है, वैभव है, and these are my sporting experts. And I'm pretty sure Premier League के in-depth analysis, transfers in, transfers out, predictions, preview as well as review. तो आपको यहाँ सब मिलेगा. So keep watching our channel and don't forget to subscribe our channel as well. And we will definitely give a good content to you. और आपको इसको देखने में आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए ये बहुत ही मजेदार सीरीज है. सीजन आफ्टर दिस पैंडेमिक, आई थिंक इट्स एवरीबॉडी वाज सो कीन कि ये कब शुरू होगा. जैसे लास्ट सीजन भी बहुत जल्दी कर्टेल हो गया था, तो रीस्टार्ट हुआ, इवेंट्स हुए, लिवरपूल बिकेम चैंपियन, Manchester United got into top 4. So there were a couple of things which everybody was very keen to look at also. And Europe में अगर आप देखो तो बायर्न म्यूनिख कितना अच्छा खेला था. So now since there has been a stop and start of season, now we can assume कि वो 9 महीने अब अच्छा season रहेगा, and it would be a very intense period.
That's Harsh. I think first of all, welcome all viewers, because I think 2020 as a year has been one of those years everybody wants to quickly, wrap up this year and move ahead. 2021 pandemic gets over and you look forward to brighter things. But I think there is light at the end of the tunnel for all football fans, because September 12th का जिस तरह से वो कहते हैं ना, बेकरार लोग थे उस डेट का कि भाई जल्दी से वो 12 सितंबर आए और प्रीमियर लीग शुरू हो. So I think we have reached that stage. A lot of things to look forward to. This is going to be a very unique season. No season we have ever started without any fans, and we don't know when are the fans going to be back in stadium. So there is a lot of impact it has caused to the clubs, their financial statuses, their ticket sales is going to have a huge impact on the way things pan out. We've already seen Liverpool, clubs like Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham being slightly, conscious and prudent while they spend, right? So we see a lot of things changing. But yes, there are a lot of bright things to look forward to. Chelsea for one matter, right? So you have so many players assembled together. It's almost like Marvels have been assembled together, from all corners of the world, right? So you have the likes of Havertz and Ziyech, and you also got that experience in Thiago Silva. So yeah, Chelsea is something people are looking forward to. Of course, there are a lot of things that obviously there are to look forward to. But yeah,
this Premier League is going to be held for the first time without fans in the stadium. So for the benefit of our viewers who do not have a clear idea of how this Premier League works, let me just go ahead and explain that it's a home and away basis league which happens for 38 games throughout the year. So each team plays the other team in once in a home match and once in an away match. So fans play a very important role in the Premier League games, which is why the absence of fans will lead to a loss of a tremendous home advantage for all the big clubs like Liverpool and like Manchester United and even Chelsea for that matter. Because the smaller teams, the teams which are not in the big six, they fear coming to these stadiums, because as you rightly mentioned, these are like fortresses which are very difficult to breach for the smaller teams. So yes, the absence of fans will be really, really felt during these times. If you also go behind like 6 months, you have seen after the resumption, when we had Project Restart resuming after the pandemic, the absence of fans will somehow lead to lesser player motivation in my view, because there are some players who actually thrive on the fans. They want to perform in front of big crowds. That's what Premier League is all about. The atmosphere, the overall ambience of the stadium. So if that is missing, I think there are a lot of players who might be much lesser motivated to perform. So that's where I feel the catch is. But yes, going back, there are a lot of bright spots as well. So a lot of teams have been trying to, within their drastically reduced budget to the coronavirus, they're still trying to bolster their team lineup. So Chelsea, for that matter, has gone ahead and built a beautiful team for this time. So in my opinion, they are the dark horses for this time. But yes, all other teams also are trying to fill up the spots which they want. So
we all are discussing about Chelsea, that they have a big strength in getting all the players. डोंट यू थिंक कि ये जो टीम का एक साथ में खिलाना, इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ अ मोटिवेशन, वो कितना क्रिटिकल फैक्टर रहेगा, एंड हाउ डिफिकल्ट दैट वुड बी फॉर दिस क्लब टू डू इट इन दैट मैनर? बिकॉज एक चीज अच्छी है दैट दे हैव असेंबल्ड अ टीम ले आए हैं, खिला रहे हैं, बहुत बढ़िया है, लेकिन वो टीम स्पिरिट है, वो टीम कोहेसिवनेस, वो फॉर्मेशंस, एंड सबसे बड़ी वो ईगो मैनेजमेंट, जब आपके इतने बड़े बड़े नाम है, डोंट यू थिंक वो एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर रहेगा? वेबर, व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दिस?
What Chelsea is going through is more of an overhaul. If you see the strategy from 2018, 19, 19, 20, so to have Pedro and Willian as long servants to the club, Olivier Giroud for that matter, right? So they have slowly shipped out two of them, right? Pedro and Willian have moved out of Chelsea, right? So somebody's lost, but yeah, Arsenal's gain. Uh, and then you also see Giroud being linked to a move outside Chelsea, because you saw Lampard bringing in that freshness when they started the season last, in 2019-20. They got Abraham, Mount, they got Hudson-Odoi, who came back after the injury, and they also have Billy Gilmore as a 19-year-old youngster, probably trying to break into this team. And look at the recruitment that they've done this time around. So Ziyech again, early 20s, Havertz 21, 22. Werner is 24. The only, I think the only the different sort of signing that they have done is probably where they wanted to bolster the defense as Thiago Silva. That's where they wanted to bring experience, right? With Zuma and Rudiger, they wanted to bolster their defense. And I think last time we saw they shipped in a lot of goals. But the way things are looking out, Arsh, I rather see Chelsea not just being dark horses at Rajat said. I think they will be one of the top 3 contenders for me personally, who will vie for the Premier League.
While we did Project Restart, उसके बाद United के 9 games pending थे and they were in 5th position, but they were being challenged by few clubs like Wolves and Tottenham and Arsenal for a top 4 spot. Even Leicester at that time was doing very very well. So I think वो जो 9 games जो Project Restart के बाद हुए, United is the team which got the maximum points out of that. They got 21 points out of those 9 games. So that's 4 points more than Liverpool, and even though City got 24 points, but they had 10 games to play. So United के लिए आप ये कह सकते हो कि after Project Restart they were one of the best teams. And the reason for them being one of the best teams was that they had that urge and they had that belief that they could go into the top 4. They had seen Leicester starting to slip, so उनको वहाँ पे एक ray of hope दिख रहा था, and Arsenal was very inconsistent in that time. And even though they were doing very well in the Europa League also time pe, but still they wanted to make sure that they qualified for the Champions League through the Premier League only as a top 4 finisher. So that's why I think United का जो positive momentum उस time पे था before the Project Restart, मतलब आप देखो कि last game जो हमारा था मैनचेस्टर सिटी के साथ था, जो हमने मैनचेस्टर डार्बी में 2-1 से फाइनली जीत के, जो हमने 2-0 से फाइनली जीता, जब लास्ट में मैकटोमिने ने स्कोर किया, तो उस टाइम के बाद से जो पॉजिटिव वाइब था क्लब में, आई थिंक वो कैरी फॉरवर्ड हुआ आफ्टर रीस्टार्ट में. एंड आई थिंक इसका बहुत ज़्यादा जो आप श्रेय दे सकते हो, द क्रेडिट फॉर दिस गोज टू द न्यू मैनेजर. Solskjaer when he joined like 1.5 years back, तो उनका एक अच्छा रन बना था 10-11 मैचेस का, 14 मैचेस का, जिसमें यूनाइटेड बहुत अच्छा खेला था. बट आफ्टर दैट थिंग स्टार्टेड टू स्लिप. So when he realized that there were some players, I wouldn't want to name the players as such, but yeah, कुछ players उनको ऐसे लगे कि who were not up to the club philosophy, and they did not have that hunger to win championships and to win trophies for United. So those I wouldn't call them deadwood, but yes, there were some players who were not actually fitting into the club philosophy. उनको उन्होंने जरा skip out किया. So even though they were doing well, some players like Lukaku were doing really well, but they did not fit into the counter-attacking system and the free-flowing system of Solskjaer, so he had to skip him out as well. Now we are hearing that Alexis Sanchez has also been moved out to Inter Milan on a free transfer. And the hiring which Solskjaer has done in the last 6 months and last 8 months, जो उनके signings थे, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Daniel James, उसके बाद उन्होंने ब्रूनो फर्नांडिस को जब जनवरी ट्रांसफर विंडो में जब से साइन किया, तब से एक्चुअली में यूनाइटेड का जो है आप कहोगे स्टाइल ऑफ प्ले ही बदल गया. दे हैव बिकम वेरी वेरी अग्रेसिव इन टर्म्स ऑफ हाउ दे हैव बीन अप्रोचिंग गेम्स. दे आर कमिंग आउट टू विन एंड नॉट जस्ट कमिंग आउट फॉर प्लेइंग फॉर द सेक ऑफ इट एंड प्लेइंग फॉर अ ड्रॉ. सो द हंगर हैज बीन seen in the United players now, and that's how the hiring has been. I also feel that, as you were mentioning, that defense के case में there needs to be a defensive leader. I think Harry Maguire you can't compare him to a Virgil van Dijk right now, but I think he's growing into that role. He's done pretty well for himself, and even though we had some shockers from De Gea in the last 4 to 5 games, but United has defensively done really well, and that's one of the reasons for their resurgence. So combined with better hiring, better attacking football, and having a defensive leader has what has been good for United. उसके बाद last thing I want to mention is that now we are looking for hiring some more players which fit the club philosophy. उस केस में Donny van de Beek को हमने last 2 weeks में hire किया. उसके बाद we are also running after Jadon Sancho. That deal is getting prolongated, but let's keep our fingers crossed and let's hope he comes to United.
When we talk about Arsenal, I think जो सबसे बड़ी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है कि जो डिमीना है मिकेल आर्टेटा का, आई थिंक वो एक बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले कर रहा है. जो आर्सेनल में कामनेस है, कूलनेस है, जिससे वो खेलते हैं. मे बी ऑब्वियसली उनका भी उनाई एमरी के बाद, आई मीन वी हैव सीन ऑल्सो हाउ आर्सेनल हैव स्ट्रगल्ड. They were struggling and even he picked up, or now we can say that they're now part of Manchester City Light, how they are playing, right? There have been very shrewd signings which they have done. चाहे वो Cedric Soares है, Southampton से है, चाहे वो एक Gabriel है, another Brazilian defender from Lyon which they have got. So I think what I feel the dark horse for this season, it can be Arsenal as well, because जिस तरीके से हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि ये इनकी टीम जेलअप हो रही है, जो पहले इनकी टीम में एक डिसअरे वाली फीलिंग होती थी जब ये खेलते थे, चाहे वो लिवरपूल के साथ खेले, यूनाइटेड के साथ खेले, लास्ट के कुछ गेम्स में मैं ये देख रहा हूँ कि आर्सेनल में वो चीज़ नहीं रही है. दे हैव बिकम लिटिल बिट कूलर एंड कामर. तो मेरे हिसाब से आर्सेनल एक बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले करेगा इस प्रीमियर लीग को डिफाइन करने में, क्योंकि अगर ओबामेयांग फाइल या फिर अगेन उनकी हाई प्रेसिंग जो गेम है, आई थिंक उसकी कंसिस्टेंसी की वजह से आर्सेनल माइट बी इन अ टॉप 4 as well.
What they've done is, I think, one, they have stopped fearing the bigger teams, right? So I think that is something from since 2015. There has been, it's actually a shocking statistic if you are an Arsenal fan, right? Since 2015, you haven't really gotten a point away from home against the top 6 or the so-called top 6. So for Arsenal to almost in the last 6 months try to be fearless, playing whether it's City, whether you're playing Chelsea, you saw Community Shield against Liverpool. So they have started playing without fear, and as you said, the leadership of Aubameyang and the calmness and the presence that he brings to the team, I think that's been the role he has been playing has absolutely evolved over the last couple of seasons. And you say you talk about Arteta, right, bringing in that the freshness in the gameplay. I think he's taken his time. This season might be the one where we see Arsenal actually challenging for the top 4 with the defensive reinforcements and plus the style of play that he has been able to bring. That has obviously got endowed from.
He has been trained by one of the best managers.
Yeah, as I was saying, yes.
Right, there are certain things which we can see in this game as well. So
absolutely, वो पेप का जो एक कहते हैं ना एक image of the style of possession that is evident. Plus he's been able to also bring the young players into this mix, right? So Saka, Maitland-Niles, Martinelli is injured right now, and then you also have the Eddie Nketiah. Right. The attacker, right? So it's an interesting team, right? I am looking forward to look Arsenal and what they do.
It is Mourinho's second full season, I would say, or second full season where Mourinho is known to actually win trophies. So wherever he has gone, उसका जो second season है वो बड़ा critical माना जाता है कि वो he can do wonders. So lately there is not much of, I would say, positivity around Jose Mourinho and what Tottenham is doing. So it looks like top 6 में जो 6th एक team रह गई है, maybe एक perception based, वो मेरे हिसाब से इस समय Jose Mourinho का है. So what is your take on that? What would be the strength of Tottenham right now, और क्या उन्होंने कुछ ऐसा किया है कि जिससे there should be some kind of an optimism about them.
See the Mauricio Pochettino era. उस era में उन्होंने काफी सारे अच्छे competitions में even last stage तक qualify किया, but unfortunately they could not win any major trophy. But if you look at Tottenham, those were their best years in the last 10 to 15 years. If you look at Mauricio Pochettino, so they are coming out from that phase, and obviously every manager has his favorites and his own style of play. So now Tottenham is actually moving from Mauricio's style of play to Mourinho at this moment, and so now they are getting accustomed to being under a very young manager to a very experienced manager. So Mourinho has his own style of working. You have seen it at Chelsea, you have seen it at Real Madrid, you have seen it at United. So Mourinho takes things into control. He commands the the respect. He has a winner of a lot of trophies. But coming to Tottenham, I think the squad looks a bit thin. So the only reinforcement they've done this year is in Matt Doherty, जिनको उन्होंने अभी signed. And apart from that, there has been no major signing, and the squad in itself looks a bit thin to me. Thankfully, the Premier League clubs voted in favor of only 3 substitutions. Otherwise, if they had gone back to that 5 substitutions जो restart में था, so Tottenham might have been found wanting, because all other big clubs उन्होंने काफी ज्यादा reinforcement दे लिया, तो उनके substitution plus squad जो है काफी better लग रहे हैं इस time पे. So Mourinho also actually has gone on record saying that he needs another striker, he needs another centre back. That's been his usual, style of working. He's been very vocal about what he wants, so he does not actually keep things to himself and keep things within the club. वो थोड़े से वो रहते हैं, but he's very vocal about things. Coming back to his style of play, I think Tottenham is generally been a very attacking team, and we've seen that under Mourinho as well. So he did not want to, be typecast into getting a defensive format of play to Tottenham also. Because when you remember, when he's in his last stint at United, he was criticized for making United a very slow and very non-attacking team. So United was sitting back and waiting for others to mistakes to pounce upon. So that's what we saw last year with Tottenham. Mourinho had given them the freedom to go ahead and attack, which also saw them concede a lot of goals. So even if you look at Tottenham's victories also, they were in very high-scoring matches. 3-4-3 का victory था, कभी 3-2 का victory था. Maybe some cases में they conceded 3 goals also. So उस केस में I think the defensive lineup they needed to bolster it. Serge Aurier का इस टाइम पे injured हो जाना is a big blow because he was doing really well. So उसी की position को reinforce करने के लिए Matt Doherty will start playing there. Apart from that, forward line to Tottenham ka you say कि can always bank upon. They have Dele Alli there, they have Heung-min Son there, and then Harry Kane has been there for Tottenham, scoring at least 20 goals in the last 3 to 4 seasons. So they don't have a dearth of goals. I think it's ironical to say that a Mourinho team needs backup in defense. So they're doing very well in attack and they've been leaking goals. In the top 6, Tottenham is at the 6th position right now. If you look at the favorites, I'll just run you through. I'll just take 10 seconds for that. So Manchester City and Liverpool are the bookies' favorites for the top 4 spots. Man City at 97% and Liverpool at 93%. Then the next 2 spots, इन दोनों के लिए favorites जो इस वक्त दिखाई दे रहे हैं, they are Chelsea and United. So 2-on-3 basis पे 67% chances लग रहे हैं उसके बाद कि Chelsea और United will be the team in the top 4. Then following that, Arsenal is at 29% and then Mourinho's team Tottenham is at 25%. उसके बाद there is Wolves, Leicester and teams like Everton which might have an outside chance. उनके भी थोड़े बहुत percentages हैं 10, 20, 15%. But in terms of top 6, Tottenham is at the 6th position in terms of, as you rightly said, अभी के लिए हमें ऐसा लग रहा है कि Tottenham might not be able to qualify for the top.
In fact, let's talk about now Manchester City. As we know, second position पे है because City के साथ हमेशा क्या रहा है, Manchester City हमेशा क्लब देखते हैं कि प्रीमियर लीग तो वो जीत जाएंगे, लेकिन क्या वो चैंपियंस लीग में क्वार्टर फाइनल को क्रॉस करेंगे कि नहीं. इस बार उनके पास बहुत अच्छा चांस था कि लिवरपूल भी बाहर था, कई सारे क्लब्स बाहर हो गए थे, लेकिन वो फिर अगेन दैट हैज काइंड ऑफ बिकम अ रोड ब्लॉक फॉर देम फॉरएवर. मैनचेस्टर सिटी में व्हाट आई फील स्ट्रांगली इज क्योंकि डेविड सिल्वा का जाना एंड वी फील दैट मे बी फिल फोर्डन इज रेडी टू टेक अप दैट मिडफील्ड. आई थिंक कंपनी के जाने के बाद और मे बी अब डेविड सिल्वा के जाने के बाद आई थिंक सिटी माइट स्ट्रगल फॉर ऑल द प्लेयर्स दे हैव, फॉर ऑल द अटैकिंग prowess दे हैव. उनका जो डिफेंस है अभी भी बहुत लीकी है. इवन हम लोग वो रीड कर रहे हैं कि मे बी वो कलुबॉली के दे मे गेट दैट प्लेयर, बट अभी कुछ श्योर नहीं है. सो उससे बड़ा उनके लिए प्रॉब्लम रहेगा कि सर्जियो अग्वेरो कितना फिट रहता है, क्योंकि सर्जियो अग्वेरो की फिटनेस पे बहुत कुछ मैटर करता है. इवन दो यू हैव जेसूस है, रहीम स्टर्लिंग भी रीस्टार्ट के बाद आई थिंक ही स्टार्टेड टू प्ले रियली वेल. He scored a lot of goals, but before that, if we also remember, he had a very big lean patch as well. So Manchester City, even though they are again one of the favorite for the bookies, and they say that they might be number one, I still feel they still have a lot of loopholes. If anybody wants to exploit that, a team like Liverpool, maybe a team like Manchester United. Now United midfield is one of the most creative one, और उनके जितने भी आगे के भी प्लेयर है, चाहे वो ग्रीनवुड है और जितने प्लेयर्स की हम लोग बात करते हैं, मार्शियल फॉर्म में, रैशफोर्ड है. सो मैनचेस्टर सिटी जैसी टीम को पेनिट्रेट करना इतना टफ नहीं रहेगा. सो आई बिलीव मैनचेस्टर सिटी हैव लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स टू आंसर आल्सो, एंड आई स्ट्रांगली बिलीव दैट दे नीड मोर रीइंफोर्समेंट्स इन डिफेंस स्पेशली, एंड दे नीड वन लीडर. And leader on the pitch like David Silva's missing would be a big blow for Manchester City according to me, and that is where I think they may struggle. So I would give my Premier League predictions later on, but I still feel that Manchester City may not be even in top 2 according to me. That would be my assessment. तो City को कई सारी चीजें भी improve करने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि I feel बहुत competitiveness है मैं अभी Premier League में, और जितनी भी teams हैं, it can be a more of a level playing ground with no crowd as well. They lost the Community Shield game against Arsenal. They did not play that well. I mean, obviously somebody who might be a Liverpool fan may think that okay, they may not be interested in that game. Some player might be looking to go out. अब विनियाल्डम का चल रहा है कि वो बार्सिलोना चला जाएगा कि नहीं जाएगा. बीच में सादियो माने के लिंक्स आए थे. साला के हर साल आते हैं. lot of people have got anxious who support Liverpool की signings इतनी fresh नहीं आ रही. We cannot have the same team and all.
Let's just look at what Liverpool has done over the last 4 to 5 years. Let's not just talk about the signings that have happened this summer, right? So from bolstering the academy, from talking about expanding the stadium and actually doing it, right? From making sure that you now are not a selling club, right? From losing out Suarez and Coutinho and Xabi Alonso, Mascherano, the world-class players, you can count them on fingers, used to play for Liverpool in the last 10 years, to where we are right now, right? So Liverpool, and it may sound slightly pro-Liverpool, but they have a team of world-class players across the field, right? From Alisson to Van Dijk, let's not forget Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, to having the best PFA footballer of the year. You have Henderson. Right. You have Henderson, and then you have very good players, if not world class, in Wijnaldum, Fabinho, and the fit again Naby Keita, right? So there is enough in the midfield, and of course that dreaded front three for all other clubs, Firmino, Mane, and Salah. So the core of the team is as it is, right? So what I think people are worried about is the second season syndrome just after winning the Premier League. That of course there will be pressure. Let's not forget they have amassed 97 and 99 points in the last 2 seasons. Very difficult to replicate. And there have been very limited signings. Of course, they have bolstered the left back position with that Greek player Tsimikas. This Thiago may just still before the end of closure of the window may just be a Liverpool player, and we see what Klopp is doing there. So there will be of course added pressure, but as you said, City has their own problems to sort. Chelsea wants to gel together as a team, the team that they've assembled. United, will of course look to, break into the top 2, which has been occupied by City and Liverpool over the last 2 seasons. And of course, they will be the closest competitors, as I feel. And again, Arsenal and Tottenham and Everton, Wolves, everybody's going through a rebuilding. So it's again not an outright favorite in this season. Liverpool will be amongst those that will definitely be amongst the favorites. Yes, there was lethargy when we saw that Community Shield game and we saw the last leg of the season after the Project Restart. But come on, they knew that it's only a matter of another game or two before they are crowned champions. So I think there was that on their back of their mind. So I think Liverpool, let's not underestimate for any accounts until the time they have their talismanic coach in their ranks. I don't think we can ever rule out Liverpool from being one of the favorites for the Premier League.
But I think this will be a much more closely fought season. I think the top four will be much tighter this time around. If you see last year, as you mentioned, 18 points was the gap between top two, and it was more than 30 points between the first team, the third team, which was United. So I see a much more closely bunched top four this time around, with all the teams looking to bolster up their squads. And also there is one very big uncertainty of player availability during this time, because you see the pandemic has not yet subsided and we are all going to play inside a bubble. So you've already seen some big players contracting coronavirus, including Paul Pogba, and some of the players are in quarantine. So availability of players and the strategy built around availability of players would be, I think, a major factor this time around. I don't see a 30-35 point gap. Even the clubs which are in the third and fourth position are looking much stronger than they were last year. And I think the major thing to, in my view, the major thing to watch out during this time is the battle between the old heads and the new young guns. So old heads in terms of Klopp and Guardiola, and in the young heads we have Solskjaer, Lampard, and Arteta. So that's going to be a very, very critical battle, and who comes out better in that battle of the heads is going to reign supreme. So I see a very closely bunched top four this time now.
Great.
Going to be a much more closer top four, top five, top six, Premier League season compared to the last couple of seasons where we have seen those 20-25 points between 1 or 2 or 2 and 3. So there has been a lot of gaps there. But I see this one being much closer to the last 3 seasons. My so my prediction, Arch, I would rather see that Liverpool, with the strengths that they carry and the core of the team being the same. Yes, there could be a difference in the midfield with Thiago if he comes to Liverpool with all the news that surrounds him. I still see that Liverpool might just edge Manchester City to first position, and City being very close this time. Mind you, there's not going to be a 20-25 point difference. For third and fourth spot, I see Chelsea and United being entangled into a very, very hard-fought battle, and I see United just brushing aside Chelsea to the third spot. So for me, 1, 2, 3, 4 would be Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea in that order.
So as much as being a United fan, I would want them to win, but I really don't, from my mind, I don't see them, lifting the title this time around. It's still quite away from there. So although we've been doing really well, so in terms of my opinion, I see either of Liverpool or City lifting the title.
Pick one name then.
So if I have to pick one, see, it's hard to.
It's a tough position for Rajat to be in, to pick one between Liverpool and City.
So I'd rather not want any of those teams to be at the top. That's how it is. So if I have to choose one, I think I'll pick City. So I think they'll just edge Liverpool to the title this time down. So United are clearly going to challenge for a second or third position, not for the title at least. And Chelsea would make up the top four in my opinion. Arsenal have a slight outside chance, but I think Chelsea will be my favorites for the fourth position.
Liverpool will definitely win this title. That's what I feel. It would be Liverpool. Then now for second, I'm going slightly different. For second, I'm going United. Simply because I see their upward graph. The only problem which United might face right now is the fatigue which they had in the last leg of of the season, right? Because the break has been, I mean, we had no break whatsoever, and some off-field issues for a lot of players. So I believe United, if everything goes well, is my I think for the runner-up spot, definitely United is the one. Third, I believe it would be Chelsea, and fourth, I believe it would be Manchester City. So I would go with the Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Manchester City. Let's see how we stand by it. But I believe United has a very good chance of top three at least, and maybe top two as well. So maybe it's not that I love that club, being a Liverpool fan, but I believe they are making the right noises with their team, and I believe Solskjaer has also grown in the role quite a lot.
So super excited for the season. I am absolutely looking forward to it. There's a great enthusiasm because I think everybody has been glued to their systems, their mobile phones, their laptops over the last 6 to 8 months with the pandemic, locking us all inside our houses. This will be an amazing time for a lot of football fans, and I'm sure with the great stuff that you have put together, Arsh, and the kind of content that we will be trying to create for our folks, this is going to be an interesting watch for everyone who subscribes to our channel and logs in and probably gets to learn a bit about football from us.
It was great discussing this with you. Let's catch up next week with more analysis, with more insights. देखते हैं इस वीक में क्या होता है अपने एनालिसिस और टिप्स में, जो हमारी प्रेडिक्शंस रही है. मे बी कुछ महीने बाद हमें पता लगेगा कि हम लोग भी किस डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं. मे बी कोई वो ऐसा डार्क हॉर्स जैसे लेस्टर था, वो इस बार कोई आता है कि नहीं आता. The things are open-ended. As I've said, this is the Premier League without any crowds, without any support. So वो कैसा रहेगा? The digital support वो कितना difference बनाएगा? It would be a great spectacle to see. Thank you so much, Ajay. Thank you so much, Weber. Look for your company next week. Take care.